快点，还冲着3个来。对呀。对，这不行，不行，不行，不行，不行，不行，不行，不行，不行，不行。你找我拿个。去看外面有那个纸可以可以订的，没有这个，没有在掏了，小那个。那边有多少钱？
So this memorial is going to happen right there.
Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, I
要玩嘅嘢。
They say using Second Amendment settings.
我攞入去先，你入嗰啲一陣未入去招就入。呢隻留翻少少入都俾啊！有冇邊個需要贏足去跟我？
我係可以攞入都冇嘅。
又係攞嚟嘅。
This senseless tragedy has shaken us to the core. SGB is so near and dear to my heart, as I'm sure it is for many of you here tonight. And tonight, beyond our deep love for this city
People who perhaps wouldn't otherwise come together are all gathered here tonight. Remember to hold on to this right now. Look out for one another. Find comfort and strength in your community, not just when tragedy strikes, but when things are good as well. Monterey Park is strong. San Gabriel Valley is
there a lesson found around here?
We're going to get through this together.
Well, again, the microphone.
We'd like to do a minute of silence so we can join us.
I'll ask everybody with a camera. Everybody walking around with a camera.
What does it say on the Whatever that.
Thank you all for coming, and now I would like to invite Pastor Molly of River of Life, Monterey Park.
Yes, I want to echo Brittany and Naomi's sentiments that it's good to be together in mourning and community. And I just want to invite you right now just to turn and look at one another, just to recognize other people that are here mourning, look at each other's faces, see the candles and the flowers, and recognize the truth that we are not alone. And I also just wanted to recognize that we've experienced a collective trauma here. I live in Monterey Park, and we have been grieving together as a community, along with some of us who have been grieving intensely as we have lost a loved one. And we feel that trauma in our bodies. So I want to invite us to do a few deep breaths together. Just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, out through your mouth. We don't just feel this trauma in our souls and in our minds, but in our bodies. And we need to breathe in this time. As we begin our vigil, I want to share two brief scriptures to bring comfort and to share a short prayer. The first scripture is from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. It is important for our bodies and souls to mourn. We cannot carry this kind of grief all inside. We need to let it out. And so I know I joined the organizers in saying this is a safe space to feel what you need to feel. To not bottle it up, but to let it out. To visit and look at the faces of the victims and look them in the eyes and recognize that it might have been your family member, and let your grief be felt. It's a time to release our mourning and to experience comfort in one another and God's presence among us. The second verse I want to read is from the book of John, chapter 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This is a powerful verse and powerful imagery. We are gathered in the dark, in the place where so much darkness and evil and murder has come to our city, and we feel the very real deep darkness as we gather together. But we also can look out and see candles and see light. And I don't know about you, but when I see light, there's a sense of hope that this is not the end. So let the candles bring you comfort as you think about light. And more than a candle, we each carry light with us to share person to person across our community to bring healing and love. So what small acts of kindness and love can you do this week and in the coming weeks to share light with one another? Smile at one another. Look at each other's faces. Send a card. Bring a meal. Give a hug. Small things that start to reclaim our city for light and for love and for good. So let me pray for us. Oh God, we are so sad. Just sit in that. We are so sad. It is overwhelming. And I sense, God, your heart breaking too in this place. Allow us the freedom to mourn, for our tears to come and to flow. Would you come now and bring your presence and comfort very, very near? Would you come near to each one here and encircle them with your love and embrace, especially to those of us who have lost a loved one? Let's take a breath and feel that embrace. And thank you for the gift of community. You have not created us to walk this journey alone. Help us to sense your comfort through the faces of one another. And thank you that you have made us creatures who can bring light and love in our world. Give us creativity and generosity as we seek to share light with one another. Bring healing to our souls and community, we pray. Amen.
I'm going to translate what Pastor just said in Cantonese. 以下係啱啱牧師頭先所講嗰兩段經文，我翻譯下。第一節係嚟自馬太福音嘅第5章第4節，他說：哀慟的人有福了，因為他們必得安慰。哀悼對於我們的身體和靈魂是很重要的，我們需要釋放我們的痛苦和談談我們的感受，這就是今晚的目的。我們歡迎情緒，所以讓我們不要把我們的情緒關起來，讓我們接受釋放痛苦帶來的安慰，敞開心扉，一起參與其中。當我們這樣做時，讓我們接受主帶來的安慰。第二節係出自於約翰福音嘅第1章第5節，他說：光照在黑暗中，黑暗卻沒有勝過他。這一段福音是一句很有力的詩句和意象。我們在黑暗中聚集在這一個發生了那麼多邪惡和黑暗的地方，我們都很傷心， 但在這個黑暗之中，我們每個人都拿着一支帶來光明的蠟燭。看看周圍黑暗中的蠟燭，大家有什麼感覺呢？不但只是蠟燭，我們每個人身上其實都攜帶着光與別人分享，亦都以這一份光在我們社區中帶來治癒和愛。在這一個星期內，或者在下幾個星期內，你哋可以做什麼來延續這一份光和繼續幫我哋嘅社區治癒呢？頭先牧師講嘅以下頭先牧師講嘅祈禱。主啊，我們好難過，我們的心都碎了。我感覺到你的心也被破碎了。允許我們自由哀悼。你現在能來並帶來你的存在和安慰嗎？你會靠近這裏的每一個，並用你的愛和擁抱包圍他們嗎？尤其是對那些失去親人的人。感謝你建設了這個社區，你沒有讓我們孤單地走這個生命旅程。希望你能夠幫助我們通過彼此的面孔，感受到你的安慰。感謝你讓我們能成為世界上帶來光明和愛的生物。當我們尋求與彼此分享光明時，給我們創造力和慷慨，為我們祈禱的靈魂和社區帶來醫治。阿們。
大家好 Hello everyone. This is Liu Xia, also known as Lohai. My name is Connie Lim, Lamhong Lei, and my artist name is Milk. We are very saddened and honored to be here to sing a song called Ooh Child, in hopes to bring some more solidarity between all of us. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when our head is much lighter. Feel free to sing if you'd like it. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Yeah. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your head is much lighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter, brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
Thank you, Connie and Lohai. My name's Jason Chu. I work with Hate is a Virus, and I'm proud to be friends with Compassion and SGV. When I moved to Los Angeles 10 years ago, Monterey Park was my first home in LA. I'm not a native LA County guy, but I lived just on the other side of the hotel, and I'd go running down this street right here. I grew up on the East Coast. I lived in Beijing, and then I moved here because this was the closest thing to Beijing I could find coming back to America. And that's what I love about this city. It's a place where people can feel safe. For those of you who've been here your whole lives, for those of you who know the history of the communities here, this was a place that people made home. They made safety, they made community here. And it's the only word, right, is tragic. When places that are supposed to be safe, when places where we raised our children, where we grew up, when we're suddenly reminded that they're part of a bigger world, and that world isn't always safe. But I've been thinking a lot in the last 72 hours. I've been thinking a lot about two things. I've been thinking about this idea of Chunjie, right, the Spring Festival. Been thinking about how, Chinese and Vietnamese and Korean and all our friends, this is our time to turn the corner into a new year, to set the tone for a new year. And as we see tragedy around us, I've seen a lot of friends talking about how they're scared that this is what sets the tone for the new year. But I look out tonight and I look at the messages that have come in from friends around the country. I look at the organizations like Compassion and SGV, like Advancing Justice SoCal, like Hate is a Virus, like so many of the ones in our community who are stepping up and saying we can't undo this tragedy, but we can be there for one another. We can show up for one another. We can show up well. We can show up kindly. We can show up with open hearts. This is incredible. Right here, I look around and I see people who are here because they care for one another, because they care for the ones who've had their loved ones taken, that should still be here with them. And I think that if we're going to have to start a new year with the reality of a tragic world around us, let's also start a new year with the reality of community and of care and of humanity around us. Let's let this set the tone for this new year and many new years to come. I look out and I see all of Monterey Park here. I see all of the SGV here. I see people who live alongside each other. And maybe we speak different languages. Maybe some of our families came from different places. Maybe some of our families don't see eye to eye all the time, but when things happen in our communities, we show up for each other and we say we care, and we say that we don't always know how to make it better, but we know how to be in it together when it's not good. So, if this is how a new year starts, I'm hoping that for all of us here, it means we carry the reality of lost ones with us. We don't forget them. Please, in a week or a month or a year or 5 years, these people are still, the ones who are taken, are still a part of our community. Their lives are written into the tapestry of this community, this city, this county, this country. Let's carry them with us. Let's do things that honor their memory. Let's do things that mirror the life and the joy they had in this community. And as we're here together, let's remember this. People outside of the SGV, outside of Monterey Park, outside of this space, they may have stories they want to tell about, oh, it was about this or it was about that. But for those of us who are here together, let's remember, first and foremost, it's about the kids who are going to grow up seeing communities like this that gather to mourn and to celebrate together. Let's remember those who are going to have a road of healing ahead of them. And let's commit to being present together in joy and in mourning when we have to. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Connie Chunjo. I'm the CEO of Asian Americans Advancing Justice Southern California. We are the nation's largest legal and civil rights organization for the Asian Pacific Islander community. Today we are grieving. We're grieving not only for the 11 victims whose lives have been lost to the shooting. We grieve for the 9 who are injured through that tragedy. And we grieve for our Asian American community and our San Gabriel Valley community. I am also a San Gabriel Valley resident. My husband grew up his whole life in Alhambra, and my family is still there. And our staff had a booth at the Lunar New Year Festival in Monterey Park. And so I had a group of staff there on Saturday, and they talked about the families and the amazing food, which is what you expect when you come to Monterey Park, and all the activities and the love and the happiness and the celebration. Because for 2 years during the pandemic, this festival could not happen. And this year, we finally had it again. And to have this tragedy happen during one of the most cherished and important holidays for so many of our Asian American community, to happen in a community like Monterey Park that is 65% Asian American. Here in San Gabriel Valley, San Gabriel Valley is majority Asian and one of the largest Asian American communities in this country. And to happen in the context of the last 3 years where we've seen the rise in anti-Asian hate, where we felt like we've had a bullseye on our backs already. And so it doesn't matter to me, people speculate what was the intent of the shooter. We may never know. But what matters is the impact on our community. We have felt targeted, and we are all grieving. But we are a resilient community. We are a community of people who have been able to persevere over violence, over pandemic. Some of us have immigrated or have families who've immigrated and had to navigate cultural and language barriers, and still we prevail. We've come from countries where there was civil war and economic hardships, and yet we still prevailed. And we will prevail. We will come out of this. We will remain a strong and close community. I want to mention 2 specific resources that are very important to our community. First is there is a fund on GoFundMe for the Monterey Park Lunar New Year Festival victims. It is being housed, led by my organization, AJ SoCal, but it is being administered by a coalition of API and Chinese civil rights organizations, like Asian Pacific Community Fund, led by Chen, my friend, who will speak in a minute, Chinatown Service Center, the Asian American Foundation, and others. And so far, we have raised over $800,000 that will be given 100% to the victims. And by victims, I mean specifically those who were directly injured or lost their lives. What I ask of all of you here tonight If you know of a victim or you are a surviving family member or next of kin, please contact our organization and let us know, because we have no way of knowing who the victims are ourselves. The government cannot give us that list because it's private. So unless you come to us, we cannot get the money to you. And our goal is to get the money to you as fast as possible, because you have costs and you have needs, and we want you to make sure they are met. So for those who want to donate, please go to GoFundMe and you will see that site and you can share and help support the victims. But really my ask is for those who are victims or know victims, please let them know to reach out to us. And I'm going to give you our English helpline number is 1-888-349-9695. And our Chinese helpline number that is manned by Cantonese and Mandarin speakers is 800-520-2356. And if you couldn't remember that all, our website is www.ajsocal.org. It's ajsocal.org. And the second resource that is actually linked to that GoFundMe page is an API service resource directory. And that directory lists important community-based organizations on the ground who provide mental health services, victims support services, legal services, and so many others. And these are organizations that have worked with the community for years and decades, and they are trusted members of the community. So if you know of a victim, a family member, or anyone in our community who is struggling and needs that mental health support or needs other support, please go to that directory and make sure that you reach out to the organizations there. I'm going to now turn it over to my friend Chun Yen to go ahead and say some remarks as well as saying some in Chinese.
Good evening. My name is Jun Yan Chen, Executive Director of the Asian Pacific Community Fund. Connie has mentioned about how our coalition together to raise funds. When I called her on Sunday morning, I told her we need to set up a right away. Within less than 12 hours, we got together 7 groups, the page was up. Overnight, without promotion, we got $150,000 money. Since the promotion on Monday, I think many media saw me on the Monday in front of the city Monterey Park. Now we are 800,000 plus. But I do want to tell you, this hit too close to home to me, personally. I actually a little bit scared stepping into the parking lot today here. The last time I was here, I was with my kids. Both my children love ballroom dancing. So actually, I was the parent who took them to the studio to take a private lesson. That was my last time stepping into this parking lot. My son now is college. He was the one called me on Sunday morning from East Coast when I was still sleeping, didn't have my phone turned on. I didn't watch the news because I saw it's a Lunar New Year. He was the one calling me, are you home? Are you okay? Did you go to the party? Is that the dance studio I learned the ballroom dance? The rest of it, you can figure. It's very sad. It's very hard to believe this happened. But we do have hope. Actually, I love that song, the other kind song, that we're doing for our next generation. We need to start with hope. Raising funds is one way to provide hope. I know many of you want to help, you don't know how to. Support through the GoFundMe, $10, $20, doesn't matter. It shows you care. Another thing is that share the resource on the GoFundMe with all the detail and translate it. That's the least thing you can do. But there's one more thing I'm going to do in Mandarin. 大家好，我是亚太社区基金会的执行长，我叫黄群燕。来到这里让我非常的难以言喻，因为我的孩子小时候看电视看到人家跳国标舞，问我说他可不可以学，这就是他学跳舞。现在他上大学，看到新闻的第一件事情，过年 居然是看到他去跳舞的地方有这么严重的枪击案。我想我们没有任何一个人希望在大过年的时候听到这个消息，但是事情发生了，我们能做什么？我们要帮助each other，我们要帮助我们的社区，帮助所有在我们身边所有的人。亚太社区基金会跟7个联合组织，包括 AAJ 烧烤，我们已经筹到超过80万美金的慈善基金，100%都会帮助受伤死亡的家属。但是我们需要你们来找我们，因为政府并不会把你们的私人资料告诉我们，所以我们希望能够尽快把这些钱送到您身上，让你可以去处理丧葬费用、处理医疗费用、处理生活上的必须，因为社区关心你。我知道很多人不知道怎么跟我们联络，希望今天我们的出席让你知道我们在这里。I hope through the media, people know how to find Connie and me. You trust that we are doing this from the love. We're doing this because we care. We're doing this because we are united together. We are stronger together. We are better together. GoFundMe is a platform, but it actually is a heart of giving from everybody of the United States who's giving through that platform, not limited to the Monterey Park. If you look at the list, it's entire United States, across the skin of color, across the language, across the accent of whatever we speak in language. I hope you all share the information we shared today with whoever around you. Once again, dear to my heart, it hit too close to home. I never believed this happened, but it did happen, so we need to change it. We need to bring hope, and together, we hope together, and we are going to do it together. Thank you so much.
大家好，我的名字是何然南。Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Alexander Holmes. I'm an actor, content creator. I'm African American and Chinese, and I'm a very, very proud SGV native. I grew up in San Gabriel, in San Bruno to be exact. My uncle was here with me, and my grandma are from Hacienda Heights, and I spent most of my time between those two places, but also was in Monterey Park a lot, going to the amazing restaurants that we have, and I did kung fu here, so this tragic event really hits like close to home. But I wanted to gear my words today towards how we can find healing. So when I got the news about the shooting, I had actually just gotten home from celebrating Chinese New Year with my family and playing a very competitive mahjong game with my pops and my mom and my grandma, which I lost. And I got a frantic call from my friend asking me where I was and if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine, what happened? And he told me the news, and immediately I just didn't believe it, because I grew up in the city and stuff like this doesn't happen here, and I kept asking him if it was sure, and he said yeah, and I hung up and I went straight to the news, and it was true, and I realized in that moment, because in that moment what I did was I didn't reach out to anybody. I didn't try to talk to the emotion about the emotions that I was having with anybody. And I think that as an Asian American growing up here, I wasn't afforded a lot of outlets towards sharing and talking about extreme emotions. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, is that, you know, I almost didn't come here, but I had a bow with Jason the other day, and we were just talking about life and talking about this. And I decided to come tonight because I felt like I had to. And going back to the story, the next day after Chinese Lunar New Year's Eve, I spent with my family and sort of isolating myself away from everybody and trying to deal with these emotions alone. Seeing my family the next day on Chinese New Year's Day showed me that the only way that we're going to get through this is together. The only way that we're going to be able to heal is by being amongst each other. And that doesn't mean that we necessarily need to talk about it. But just to be in the presence of each other, we can't underestimate how powerful that is. And so, I am so glad that I'm here today. I feel so supported, and I feel like this is more so than I've ever felt looking at all your faces, that this is my home. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out here to support the fallen. I want to thank my city for making this Black and Asian kid that always felt like an outcast feel like one of everybody. And closing words, I want to say that the Asian American community is one of the most resilient minority groups in America. You know, we survived working on the railroads. We survived so much. We survived the Exclusion Act. We worked together with the Black community, with other minorities to end the Exclusion Act, to bring about the Civil Rights Act, to bring about the Immigration Act that brought all our families here together so that we can be here today. So I just want to say, we're going to get through this together. There will be brighter days. And I want to thank Compassion SGV for inviting me here and speaking with you all. I love you all. Thank you.
Hi everybody. 大家好，我的名字是张良林 or Carrie. Carrie Zhang. I am the founder of Asian Mental Health Project, and that is very much on my mind today, the topic of mental health. I want to start by saying thank you to everybody here and beyond, and to our ancestors. Thank you for existing. I love you. I grew up in a neighboring city, specifically Arcadia, and I know how this street and plazas just like this are a lifeline to me and to many of us here. Didn't quite prepare this next part, but this really, hearing everybody's words made me think about a story. A couple of years ago, I was in an argument with with my family, and I was really struggling with my identity, and I said,爸爸妈妈为什么你们选在这里养我们长大 and that meant, Mom and Dad, why did you bring us here? Why did you raise us here? If it's so hard to live in America, why are we here? Why did we choose this? And my dad, a brave man in his 60s with a complex history, said, baby, I grew up with so much pain. I want to bring my family the safety that I never had growing up. And I think about him, and I think about places like Garvey Avenue. They connect generations of people. When words within families are mistranslated and miscommunicated, we show our love for each other by sharing food at our favorite restaurants, like the ones right here on this street. We celebrate sacred holidays together and through dancing together in places just like this. But this lifeline has been cut. Places of celebration now also haunt us with this deep trauma, and trust in a nation that beckoned our elders to plant their seeds here has been shattered. Now, I know all of you are going through tremendous pain, and there is no single right way to process these events. But tonight and every night, I truly hope that you can honor your feelings, however they come up for you, as we go through this grieving journey together. I want to invite everybody to take a collective breath with one another. The way this works is that I'll guide you all to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and then exhale for 4 counts. And while you are thinking of this breath, I want you to also think of a word that describes how you are feeling. And as you exhale, imagine how you are, as if you were to fully be able to express that word that you choose. Ready? Okay. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, and thank you all for doing that with me. You know, your heart, your mental health, and your family's mental health matter. What we're going through is collective trauma, which is a very difficult event that affects large groups of people, and we cannot heal in isolation. We have to hold space for our own feelings and for each other's feelings. We have to heal together. 大家，我是希望跟你们讲。对不起，我写了中文，可是我真的读不出来。我就是想说我最大的希望是我们每一个人可以保护 each other and care for 我们的心理的健康。If you're struggling with your mental health, help is out there. We have resources on Asian Mental Health Project. But if you are in an immediate crisis, you can dial 988 or visit your county's local mental health resources. For text help, text Empower to 741-741 for a crisis text line. AAPI Equity Alliance has multilingual resources as well for public health and mental health. And that is my wish for you all today. Your mental health really matters. Thank you, and thank you, Compassion SGB.
Up next, we have Venerable Cheng Ju.
诸位菩萨，阿弥陀佛。虽然这里发生了不幸的事情，但是今天看到大家这样的欢喜。佛法说，只要有人的一天，只要有地球的一天，只要是生存在地球的一天，就会有天灾人祸。天灾人祸，有时是人为的因素，有时是非人为的因素。面对天灾人祸的同时，我们能够做到的是维持人心的安定，要能够心平气和，人与人之间要和平相处，人与自然之间要和谐 共处，乐天知命，而不是专门去与人争夺，和大自然争夺，这个世界便会减少很多的天灾祸。面对突然的意外，大家都会不舍，会惊恐。祈请往生者依着各自的信仰，相信这一期的生命功德已经圆满，带着亲友的祝福，往生到你想要去的天国或净土。由于你们的受苦受难，现身说法，让我们能够体会到世间的无常，国土的悲催。法鼓山创办人圣严法师开始说，救苦救难的是菩萨，受苦受难的是大菩萨。法师又说，当我们面对困境的时候，要面对它，接受它，处理它，放下它。现在就是我们要面对它、接受它的时候。Ladies and gentlemen, despite the tragedy that happened a couple of days ago, I'm very glad we're here today to share with this lovely community some wisdom of our teachers. As long as we are living on this earth, there will be natural and man-made disasters. Some of these disasters are caused by human factors, while some are caused by non-human factors. We don't have to be nervous or panic. What we can do is have peace of mind. We can stay calm, live in peace with each other, and live in harmony with the nature. We can be content with what we have instead of competing with others and with the nature. Then there will be fewer natural and man-made disasters in this world. For those who have lost lives, you and your loved ones must be feeling sad and fearful. Please, rely on your faith and believe that you have already fulfilled your responsibilities in this life. With the love and blessings of your loved ones, please proceed to a better place. For those who have lost your loved ones, grief is unavoidable. Now that the tragedy has happened, it cannot be undone. We must turn our sadness into the power of compassion, condolences, and encouragement. We can help those who have passed through prayers, chanting, reciting the Buddha's name, and doing good deeds. We can then transfer merits to them so that they can proceed to a better world. This is the greatest help to them. 对亲友来说，悲伤固然难免，但是更应该做的是为亡者来祈祷、诵经、念佛、做善事，以一声声的佛号祈求帮助亡者 得生净土，也可以让我们自己的心灵获得平静。既然意外已经发生，无法挽回，我们一定要化悲伤的心情为慈悲的力量，慰问、勉励这些亡者，帮助他们往生天国或佛土净土，这样才是对他们最大的帮助。祈请大家共同来为苦难的众生来祝福，为我们亲爱的家园来祝福。Together, we will pray and transfer the merits to our loved ones and to our loved community. We can chant 10 times. Namo Dabe Guan Shi Yin Pusa together later. That's homage to the Bodhisattva of great compassion, Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 让我们一起以虔诚的心，一起来为大家祝福。请大家合掌。Please join your palms, and we will chant Namo Dabe Guan Shi Yin Pusa together for 10 times. Namo Dabe Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 以此功德，为受苦受难的众生与民众回向，祈愿观音菩萨慈悲护念法界一切众生，于观受苦难中悉得智慧慈悲，复以慈悲智慧解脱一切苦难。May all sentient beings be safe and protected. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be well in body and mind. May all beings be happy and joyful. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. With the blessings of all, we'll start a new beginnings. And with the candles that we lighted, it will bring the brightness and the hope for our future. 大家燃起了这个烛光，光代表了智慧，也代表了光明。祈愿大家都能够有个平安、快乐、幸福的开始。祝福大家，阿弥陀佛。
Thank you so much to the Venerable Changju of Dharma Drum Mountain, Los Angeles. At this time, we'd like to invite anyone who personally knew someone who was taken this last weekend, or any survivors. We'd like to invite you forward to share your recollections, your love for those impacted by this tragedy. If you would like to speak, please line up back here, and folks, if people come up, please let them gather on the left side of the stage.